With the Macys Thanksgiving Day Parade today in New York, police want to make sure everything goes as smoothly as possible.
The NYPD says there will be a massive presence, including an officer positioned on every block along the parade route, canines and cameras. There will also be trucks filled with sand blocking intersections. The parade comes about a month after a terror attack where a man drove onto a bike path on Manhattan's west side, killing 8. Yesterday, for the first time ever, parade balloons were blown up during the daylight hours. Visitors who wanted to see them also had to wait to get their bags checked by police. You can watch the parade right here on WCCO today from 8 until 11. Extra DWI patrols are now out on Minnesota roads.
Those patrols started last night in an effort to cut down on traffic deaths caused by drunken drivers.
So sorry for your loss. Our thoughts and prayers are with you. If there's anything we can do during this sad time, please let us know. These are the words that nobody wants to hear.
Hitesh Patel's niece Ria was killed in September after getting into the car with a man who had been drinking. As Esme Murphy shows us, he is now sharing his story in hopes she'll be the last one to die at the hands of a drunk driver.
She was forever smiling, kind-hearted, lovable, cheerful, and just a golden heart.
Ria was 20 years old, a student at St. Thomas University. She was at a party with Michael Campbell the night she died. The two left after midnight, and 3 hours later, the car they were in crashed, and Campbell took off.
He was most likely drunk. He fled for 2 days. We'll never know why he abandoned her. He left her to die.
Minneapolis police officer Catherine Michael knows that pain all too well.
This will be our 10th Christmas without Deanna. It is never the same. Your life is forever changed because of one person making a bad choice.
Her 16-year-old daughter, Deanna, was killed by a drunk driver in 2006.
Did Deanna deserve to die that way? Absolutely not. Does anybody deserve to die that way? No.
Two families forever impacted by one person's bad decision, the decision to get behind the wheel after a night of drinking.
So my request, my plea to everybody is please, please make good choices.
Please, don't drink and drive because you're ruining more than one life.
Esme Murphy, WCCO 4 News.
Now, prosecutors charged Michael Campbell in Ria Patel's death. He faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. Last year in Minnesota, 74 people were killed in crashes involving a drunk driver.
Firefighters have a warning for anyone cooking their turkey in a deep fryer today. That looks scary. The St. Paul Fire Department put on this demonstration yesterday of what happens when you drop a frozen or wet turkey in a fryer. The water rapidly turns to steam, ejecting oil out of the pot. That oil can easily catch fire from the burner below. Firefighters urge anyone planning to fry a turkey to dry it off before slowly dropping it into the oil. Also set the fryer outside and away from your home or garage. Have you ever fried a turkey before?
I have not, but no, looking at that, it looks scary. You can see how quickly things could engulf.
But people love it because you can cook the turkey so much faster than in the oven.
Just got to make sure you have that thing thawed out.
Exactly. Today marks 35 years since one of the most devastating fires in the history of Minneapolis. On
Thanksgiving Day, 1982, a fire started in the Donaldson building and spread to Northwestern Bank. It took 150 firefighters 12 hours to get things under control. The next day, downtown was coated in ice and smoke. The fire destroyed an entire block of downtown Minneapolis and caused $90 million in property damage. Fire Chief John Frutel was just a rookie firefighter in Minneapolis at the time. He says what happened that night changed the way the department fights fires forever.
We're delivering probably upwards of 1,000 gallons of water a minute, to this rubble pile in this fire, and not hardly making a dent into that. It was incredible to see the volume of fire, and that was one thing that I'll never forget, to see all those floors of that building and how quickly it was spreading through that building.
The fire was started by two boys playing with flares in a vacant department store scheduled for demolition. Those boys were arrested and charged with arson. The fire led to changes in building codes and security. Back then, sprinkler systems were not required in high-rise buildings.
The search continues today for 3 sailors after a U.S. Navy aircraft crashed into the Philippine Sea. Initial reports say the plane suffered a rare twin-engine failure nearly 600 miles south of Okinawa, Japan. It happened on a routine run to the USS Ronald Reagan aircraft carrier. 8 people were rescued yesterday and are in good condition. The search for the remaining 3 continued through the night. Ships and aircraft have searched more than 320 nautical miles so far. To have a career in law enforcement, staying in shape can be pretty important.
But you wouldn't think their canine partners would have to work out too. He's looking pretty good there, that pup. The Gulf Shores, Alabama Police Department posted this video on Facebook. The caption reads, Canine Nitro Officer Cowan and Officer Hancock are getting warmed up and ready to apprehend any bad guys that break the law. 736,000 people have viewed this video, which has also been shared more than 26,000 times. I like how in sync they are.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Really cute. You wonder if who is giving the dog commands, if it's one of the officers next to the dog or somebody in front.
I'm thinking there's some treat motivation going on there.
Definitely.